Hello and welcome to the Agatebay YouTube channel. Today in a little bit different setting, I'm visiting my co-workers Clemens and Andreas, and actually the entire Fiedler family is working for me. Today we are going to cut blue lace agates, and there are several localities worldwide that produce this type of blue lace agate, but the most famous and also the highest quality material is from the border of Namibia and South Africa. The first piece I grabbed, you can see it's closing down to the host rock here on this side. Then we have a grand open window here and an area where it almost narrows down to host rock, so there's probably just an inch missing to complete the corner here, and then another huge sized window like extending all the way back to this small little shallow host rock area. So it's going to be an easy cutting decision for me to cut right through here where the banding is closing down the most, which is convenient also right next to the fracturing line, and then just parallel to the front face. And I decided to stay a little closer here to this side just because I think the banding will maybe narrow down a little bit more towards the end, just because it's the thickest here, more towards that side. Wow. Yeah, that's about one of the nicest I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen another piece that has as complete of a pattern as in this specimen. So really killer specimen. What have we next? It's another one of the seam agates, of course. Another largely broken window here on the side with beautiful bending all the way through the core. There's a little bit of an area where it's not interrupted with the banding. So I will cut from here right next to there and then back over here. Oh, wow. I have really never in my entire life seen another blue lace agate as completely banded as this. I mean, just perfectly uninterrupted banding all the way around, like the perfect butterfly. And it would be so fantastic if it wasn't just for this little fracture here that you can barely see now, but just when I cut it, you could see it a little bit more. Now the oil soaked in a little bit into the fracture, so it's a little less visible. We will see how much you will be able to see the fracture after polishing, but I think it's just an amazing piece. And the color is also like so intense and blue. These are really exceptional quality pieces. You can see it's a mostly complete pattern. The core here is all complete, and the surrounding layer of the seam just broke off here in the bottom area. So I will cut right from this corner across here next to this window section, down here, and then all the way back to this corner piece. Wow. I can say with absolute 100% confidence, these are the best blue lace agates I have ever seen. I have never seen any better cut pieces than these. Just the color intensity with the deep blue, the color shading from bright blue to deep blue, and then the white here in the center, even opening up to a druzy. I am just so curious about number 4. This is so unique to see the combination of the bright blue and this kind of bright lemony yellow color. And I am just so curious whether the color is from a secondary colorization from this being exposed to the surface area, or with a fracture and a secondary mineralization coming in, or if the yellow color is actually penetrating into the agate. So I will cut over here where the banding is still relatively complete, as you can see from this window here, and then just once across here, and then down here where it's all complete again. Sitting in there all nicely, just waiting to be cut. Go! So the yellow color was in fact just the surface staining, and I would have been so surprised if it actually carried all the way inside. Now it's just a nice blue lace agate with a not complete face. So I don't think I'm gonna get this one polished. This piece is the very end of a seam, and it gives me the chance to cut an almost complete face again. And then cut from this area right across here, over here, and then in between the banding here, and then all the way back here to the fracturing line, which is right here. Let's go! Whoa! Wow. Wow. I cut it right next to the fracture here, and oh my god, like these pieces are 100% the best I have ever seen of this type of blue lace agate. Just so incredible, and I also just love how gradually it changes the color from the bright blue to a little bit deeper blue color, and then it just opened up to this beautiful druzy in the center. These are just absolute insane quality. I've never seen anything like these. The last one of the bunch is the only one that is like just like a seam type, but for some reason it developed this kind of bubbly pattern which has this bump here at the top, and I just want to cross cut the bump once all the way around, and let's rip it through. Oh. And this is what it looks like. I think it's just so amazing to see this round pattern, although it actually has nothing to do with the nodule. So beautiful piece, and I think overall it's been a great cutting session of this beautiful blue banded material. This is the best blue lace material I have ever seen or personally cut. Just the way that these look, like with this kind of butterfly pattern, and the blue color is so intense. These are absolutely exceptional quality pieces. I'm getting all of these polished, except for this one, where I was a little disappointed that the yellow color didn't go through the entire specimen. But all of the other pieces are just exceptionally nice, and you can now enjoy also seeing the high quality photographs we have taken of all of these individual pieces. And yeah, check out my website if you would like to add any of these fabulous looking specimens to your collection. Leave it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. It's really exciting to see where the journey is going, and I really enjoy cutting agates and making this content for you. A little bit of a background story here. The Blue Lace deal has actually been one of the worst deals I have ever made in my career as an agate dealer. I'll attach a couple of the screenshots that I exchanged with the supplier of this material. In advance, before I committed to buying this material, we exchanged a lot of messages and pictures of which agates I would like to buy for my selections and which I wouldn't. So I told him from the beginning on that I'm only interested in pieces that are the end pockets of a seam where it's coming together and creates those full banded pictures. And he said, yeah, no problem, I'll get you 200 kilos together of this material. But once I received them, more than 90% of the material were regular mine run material, and only about 10%, if that, of those pieces even had the potential to cut with a mostly complete picture. I asked him what went wrong, and he said nothing went wrong, it's just how they are represented at the mine. And I said, look, I'm not interested in how representative material looks like, but to what we have agreed on. And then he just didn't respond to me for a couple months. I burned a couple thousand bucks on this deal. In fact, those full face pieces are extremely rare to get from this mine. And I ended up selling the remaining 80-90% of pieces that I didn't have any use for a lower price than I purchased them for, just to keep on moving. So that's sometimes the other side of the coin.